Elephant.
Hi, this is Data-Driven Insights, and today I want to talk about hand washing and COVID. In the news, we hear a lot about COVID-19, and a lot of us have to self-isolate right now and be in quarantine. And there seems to be a lot of emphasis on social distancing and self-isolation. However, we also know that we need to wash our hands frequently, and we have to do it for at least 20 seconds at a time with soap. So with my team, we decided to look at how important is hand washing. So if we just look at hand washing, how important is it? What data do we have about hand washing? Well, and it would seem that there is a lot of heterogeneity between countries in terms of the way in which people practice hand washing, and hand washing culture is different in different countries. So essentially, if we look at data, we tried to do quite a lot of data mining on this, and eventually we found a study that was done in 2015 by a French company called BVA. And the link will be at the bottom of this video. So they collected data from 63 countries around the globe, and they asked a very simple question. After you go to the toilet, do you wash your hands automatically? And people were invited to either agree or disagree with this statement. And essentially what they found is quite a lot of heterogeneity in the way people would agree or disagree with the statement in different countries. So as you can see here, these are the differences, and the higher is the number, the worse it is. So meaning that fewer people actually automatically washing hands after they go to the toilet. The study was conducted in 2014, at the end of 2014, and published at the beginning of 2015. And it was very important for us to find the data prior to the current COVID crisis, because obviously we hear a lot in the media about the importance of hand washing, and this could have changed some of the habits in different countries. But if we look at this data, you can actually see that China, South Korea, and Italy are exactly the countries where the hand washing culture is weaker than in other countries. And that's exactly where we see the COVID-19 problem developing. And this graph shows the total number of cases of COVID corrected for population and corrected for density. And that's correlated with the hand washing culture proxy, as I described. And basically, the higher is this hand washing culture coefficient, the worse the situation is. And you can see that there is a direct correlation between the two. So countries where hand washing culture is, frequent hand washing culture is not very strong, actually tend to have more cases. So the size of these bubbles that you see basically tell you the number of cases per million. And here we have taken data as of the 8th of March, and we plotted it on a logarithmic scale to make the countries more comparable, because obviously in China we have much more people infected than in other countries. We're not trying to say that hand washing culture is the only important thing. So I just want to make it clear that we're not saying, because these countries have problems with hand washing, they are worse off. That's completely different from the message here. Of course, there are many factors that contribute to the crisis. So it's social proximity, how many people in the network you have, density of population. However, the point of this exercise was to show that if we just look at this one factor, hand washing, we can see that this one factor can actually tell us a lot about the COVID-19 outbreak magnitude, right? So we can see that countries with weaker hand washing culture actually have a lot higher propensity of having a higher magnitude. Right? So that's basically the insight, and you can see the link to the paper at the bottom of this video. So if you have any comments, please let us know. The great thing about thinking about these things is that in search for data, we have looked at a lot of different data sources, including World Health Organization resources. And World Health Organization ran a program for a few years in a row, trying to encourage homogeneity in hand washing culture. So essentially, they try to explain how important it is to wash hands regularly. And practically, there was still a lot of heterogeneity. So this crisis is, of course, devastating in many ways, including, economic outcomes of it, and the impact on different industries would be quite unpredictable. However, when we look at hand washing culture, the crisis is a real opportunity for us as a humanity to have a more homogeneous hand washing culture across the globe. Time will tell whether that is going to be true, but certainly the current awareness about hand washing culture is bound to make some difference. I'm just hoping that this difference is going to be a long-term difference, not just a short-term, not just having a short-term effect. That's all I've got for today. Thank you. Stay safe.